What up? We're live. All right, hold up. We're just hopping on in the live. Hey, what's up, man? Sorry if I sound a little sick. My nose is like all stuffy. Nice to have you guys in here. Nice. We're live streaming now, guys. Let's go. Just posting on Instagram. 1 second. Hey. Yeah, I know. I need a haircut. You don't need to remind me. Okay, fine. You can remind me. I do need a haircut really bad. It's been a while. I've been procrastinating on it, but give me a break. I mean, it's Christmas. I got to get, Christmas presents. I got a lot of other stuff to do. It's been hectic. Let me just post this on Instagram real quick, and then we'll get right into this. I see a lot of you guys hopping on. Let's go. It's been a long time since I've done a live stream on YouTube. And like I said, I might sound a little bit stuffy. What's up? Hold up, my girlfriend's calling me super quick. All right, we're back. All right. My cat's right here next to me. I guess she's just keeping us company. But how are you guys doing? Where are you guys coming from? I'm kind of curious, honestly. I'm not sure how long I'll live stream for, but I'll try my best to make it as long as possible. Canada, West Coast. My cat's crazy. Damn, we got people from all over the world. That's insane. I mean, just think about that, That trips me out sometimes. But what? 2 dropshippers streamed today? I had no idea, swear to God. The only reason why I wanted to live stream is because I didn't get a video done today. I was planning on doing a video this morning, but then I remembered that I had to go Christmas shopping. So I was like, okay, I have to sacrifice one thing for another, but I was like, okay, I still want to get a video up somehow. So hopefully this live stream makes up for it. Now, I don't have anything planned, but I do want to, obviously answer some of you guys' questions. I do want to talk a little bit briefly on scaling and branding, and that's what I titled this. And the reason why I want to talk about those 2 things is because, in my opinion, nowadays into 2019, they're very much correlated. And what I mean by that is I definitely think going into 2019 that the best way to go about e-commerce is to start a dropshipping store and then eventually scale it into a brand. And, scaling into a brand sounds really intimidating. And honestly, it is. Like, I've been trying to do this myself like the past month, and it's been working really well. Very, very profitable so far, but getting stock to the US and just, getting the packages ready and everything, it's proven to be a lot more difficult than I expected. But yeah, so, hopefully I can start making some more videos in regards to that. But I wanted to cover just slight things in regards to scaling with branding because, oh yeah, the charger's right. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. I'm using my girlfriend's computer because for some reason mine, like the camera's not working. Oh yeah, I should turn the lights on. I mean, lights like are on. Hopefully that's a little better. Sorry, I mean, like I said, I didn't plan anything too much. Hopefully this is not too bad. Okay. Thanks for the suggestion, guys. Oh, okay, let's see. You're branding a high ticket item, product 400 and profit is 400. Best advertising method. I mean, if it's a really high ticket item, I feel like maybe Google I know Google Shopping works very well for high ticket products. The reason why is because people don't impulse buy high ticket products. Whenever somebody buys a high ticket product, it's because they were already thinking about it and they're searching for it basically. That's why I think Google works very well with high ticket products. People are looking for, let's just say you're selling a kayak or something. It's like $2,000. Nobody's going to see a kayak on Facebook and be like, oh man, you know what? I really actually want a kayak. People are going to be looking for a kayak, and that's how they're going to find you. And more often than not, they're going to go to either Google to find that or YouTube. Those are the two places. And if you guys didn't know, YouTube is a search engine, like at its base. It really is. So it's definitely a good way of finding not only potential products, but videos for products that you might potentially test. But yeah, damn, we got a lot of people in here, 119, damn. So hopefully I can keep up with the questions, because usually I do live streams in my group, but there's only like 30 people that join, and it's a lot more manageable, but we'll see. And yes, the course is open. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about that because I want this to be as valuable as possible, but yes, it's open still. 1 day click or 7 day click. Honestly, I always leave it at just both. Like, the default options is 7 day click or 1 day view. And that's the option that I always just leave on by default. The reason why is because really, like, when it comes to those conversion windows, it's better to just let Facebook choose, in my opinion. That's just the way I've ran it. And the reason why is because one is always going to be more expensive than the other. It makes sense. So because Facebook is a bidding system. It's an auction basically. So if you're going to be doing 1 day click, and everybody's doing 1 day click because supposedly it's not supposedly, it's supposed to get you more impulse buyers. That means that you'll get more impulse buyers, but maybe at a higher cost because more people are doing that. So it's just one of those things, like, it does work. I have multiple friends that do 1 day click. I even know people that only do 7 day view, but I always leave it at the middle and it works like a charm. So hopefully that answers that question. Damn, there's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with questions. So like, I'll try my best to do it, but most likely I'll just be picking like random ones. But man, you guys are so awesome. I'm surprised we're getting a lot of people in this. I didn't really expect too much just because live streams sometimes are hit or miss. How long before, that's a good question pertaining to the title of the video. How long do we have before dropshipping transitions into its branding phase? So I'm going to kind of reiterate what you asked, like, how long after we start dropshipping should we turn that dropshipping store into a brand? I think that's a great question. And personally, I don't think there's really a rule. For me right now, for example, I'm still dropshipping on this store for two reasons. One, it takes a little bit longer than I thought to actually produce your private labeled products and get the unboxing experience up to par with whatever you want to do. And the second reason is because dropshipping just works really well. And of course, private labeling requires an upfront investment. And what happens when you start dropshipping is you can build up that capital, that investment, to reinvest into a private label company. So basically that's what I've done. This month we've done a little bit, almost 10K in profit. And that's all going to be, not all, but like half of that is going to be reinvested into US stock. It already has been reinvested into US stock. And then from that, we'll kind of see how that goes. I mean, it's first time I've ever like really, had a full-on brand in the US. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm sure it'll go well. I'm really excited. I'm super pumped. But yeah. How much for a coaching call? I don't do coaching calls anymore. I might in the future, but it's just kind of one of those things that, like, I don't know, it takes a lot of time. It really does. And I love helping you guys out. And really, coaching calls are some of the best way to help people, in my opinion. I mean, I always felt like, whenever I did a coaching call that like I got a lot out of it, or I mean, the person got a lot out of it, but it just takes so much time. And right now we're working on so many different things that like I have to be very conscious of how I'm spending my time. Arie's course was the best investment. Thank you. I'm glad you feel that way. It's a good time to test products right now or wait till after Christmas? That's a really good question. Thank you for asking that. I do think that it's not the best time to test products. I mean, the main reason why is because you won't be able to get them before Christmas. But that being said, people are buying like right now. People are buying. It's crunch time before Christmas. I think you could get some hefty sales like right before Christmas, but these are going to be all angry customers. So it's really up to you. I'm not advising that. I don't think having poor customer service or, angry customers is a great way to run a business, but it's not the worst deal in the world. Like it's not too bad. I've had angry customers in the past. Everybody does. When was the last time I updated my course? About a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Just helped my student. He broke 1K this month. Nice, I guess. Can't get past $200 days. So if you can't get past $200 days, it's most likely because you're not spending enough. And I know that sounds kind of crazy. A lot of people, will get angry when you say that because obviously, you want to be able to just make more somehow. But honestly, the best way to make more is to spend more. And here's the thing. You will make more if you spend more. That's kind of a misconception. Some people don't understand like the volume concept, where if you sell 500 in sales and make, 20% on that, that's $100. And if you sell $100 worth of products, maybe you'll do 50% profits, but that's only $50, whereas the other one, it's double that, but it's less than half of the percentage in profit. So what you need to do, basically, long answer short, you need to spend more. And you could either do that by creating more ad sets. That's my personal way of doing it. I love scaling at the beginning, at least there's many ways to do it. You could scale really quickly if you wanted to and just like duplicate winning ad sets right away and create new ones. But I think the most effective way to do it is just to create new ad sets right away. Like first day, whenever you're reaching $200 a day, I'm guessing you're spending anywhere from $50 to $100. So, one day that went pretty well, make 5 new ad sets all at $10 a day and spend $150 the next day. And I guarantee you'll most likely do at least $250 or $300 if the previous day went well. So, hopefully that explains it a little bit. I know it's a little bit, hard to conceptualize. I kind of wish I had a whiteboard. But hopefully you understand that like really scaling, the main thing about scaling is just increasing ad spend. It really isn't, there's no magic to it. Some people will have different ways to scale, but all of them really just mean increasing your ad spend. So, take that with a grain of salt, I guess, because everybody has different scaling strategies, but everything does work. So just stick to one thing. Can you make a video on Google Ads? So yes and no. I do want to make some Google Ads videos in the future, but like right now I'm still like a noob with Google Ads, though I will say that I got some insane results. And if you follow me on Instagram, which I hope you do, make sure you follow me on Instagram. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I actually got almost 1,300 in sales. That's $1,300 from only $7 spent on Google Ads. Pretty insane results. I was pretty shocked. I think I got lucky, but at the same time, it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing on Google Ads, so I can't really make a video. Like, I don't even know what I would show, But I'm working on something. Of course, the inner circle gets it first, but yeah, followed me from day one. Oh, nice, bro. I really appreciate that. I really love a lot of you guys that have stuck with me from the beginning. I always reminisce on just the progress that we've made this year overall, not just in terms of the YouTube channel, but I've grown a lot as an entrepreneur this year. And yeah, where have you learned copywriting? So I've learned copywriting basically just from looking at other successful stores. That's basically the best way to do it, in my opinion. There's really no wrong or right way to do it. I think once you find a type of description that works, anybody, honestly, you could even probably the best copywriters, once you find a certain template more or less that works, you begin to use that on most products. Like, let's be honest here. Nobody creates I don't know, maybe some people do, but that's basically what we've done. Like every time we've found a really solid, description that worked really well, we'll use something similar for other products. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, basically, is what I'm saying. And from there, you'll kind of, craft your own copyright template, Is it okay to break down lookalikes, for example, by gender or age? Of course, you can do that with any ad set. It's 100%, fine to do that, and you should do that. But, mainly once you have more winning ad sets, I would say like once you're a little bit more scaled out, you have to make the same amount of ad sets at the same time every day when scaling. No, you don't. I think that's a misconception. I mean, maybe not a misconception, but I've heard people say like you should only create X amount of ad sets every day. And I think it's not a bad idea to follow something methodical like that so you stay consistent in the ad set creation, because that's so important, guys. Very undervalued thing to do, but it's very important to always be creating some more ad sets, I think, at least. So just make sure you're consistent. And I think following a pattern like only making 2 ad sets a day is a really good way to stay consistent. But I don't think, if you create 3, it's not going to make or break the strategy. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that makes sense. What's my plan for 2019? Ooh, a lot of big things coming for 2019. So basically, the first half of 2019, I just want to get a lot of stock in the US, start growing the brand as it is. And then we have a second plan for a different brand I think is going to be like our, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to jinx myself, but I think it could be like the big break, like a 8-figure type of deal. Obviously, everybody probably says that at the beginning, but I do believe in it. So we'll start working really hard on that once it develops more towards the middle of the year next year. But at the beginning of the year, we're just going to work on what we already got, like this dropshipping store. It's making money, so we're just going to turn it into a brand, learn how to brand everything a lot better. Or just how the ins and outs, basically, just so that we know exactly what we're getting into when we grow this other big brand. And eventually, I have plans of selling this brand right now. Like, I want to sell this next year. I want to grow it next year and sell it next year. Because with a brand, I'm 100% confident I can sell it. Whereas with a dropshipping store, I think I could sell it, but I'd feel a little bad about it because I know a dropshipping store needs me in order to succeed. Whereas a brand, if I find enough ambassadors and stuff like that, it doesn't sure, it needs me to grow, but it doesn't need me to maintain, so it's easier to sell. When's the course closing? Not the VIP, the regular. They're both closing in 3 days, actually. So wait till January to test products again. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you have something that's working, yeah. Otherwise, you could test something, but if you do, I would probably do it with influencers, like Instagram influencers, rather than with Facebook ads, personally. Any advice for transitioning from dropshipping store to a brand? So good question. I kind of picked that question because that's what this live stream is slightly about. But yes, so I mean, I have a lot of advice for that because that's what we're going through right now. And personally, one of the most difficult things has been arranging the stock. I don't know why. I thought it was going to be a breeze, but when it came down to it, it's a little more complicated than I thought. It's not that complicated, but it's just taking a while, basically. It's just hard to line everything up. So right now, for example, my stock is going to get here in about 2 weeks, and I ordered it about 2 weeks ago. So, it's just hard to line up, but here's a good tip. Don't scale too big right before you want to get, stock or something. Personally, one of the things that I've been doing is purposely going more for US audiences because I know I'm going to get stock in the US right now. So I'm trying to build up data in this market, and I'm not trying to scale too far into the end of the year for 2 reasons. Because, well, first of all, because I know I can't deliver before Christmas. And second of all, because I know that transitioning into stock is going to be kind of a bitch at first, I'm sure my supplier is probably going to send some out on accident or something, and shit like that will happen, but we'll ease into it. We're just bootstrapping this thing, basically. I'm not worrying too much about all the details, and that's how we ran every business that we've done. We don't worry too much about the details. We just go at it. And that's why I think it'll be successful. We'll just figure it out, and that's the best way to do it, guys. And that's a good tip that I want to give you. I mean, maybe you've heard it before, but don't worry too much about the details, guys. A lot of the times, just focus on growing your brand, growing your store. And the best way to grow it is through getting more customers. And the best way to get customers is through driving traffic. whether it be paid traffic or organic traffic. If you don't have the money to go into paid traffic, go into organic traffic. But all you need to do is get people to your store. That's it. Like, that's how you should simplify your business. And it's really, that'll change a lot of things that when you actually start simplifying it like that, it'll make the goal a lot clearer. But when scaling fast, what are the things that you should be aware of? Good question. Nice. I'm glad that I titled this Scaling and Branding. This is a lot more fun. No offense. Obviously, I love helping beginners out. I love helping people that are just starting out. But personally, I enjoy more like the intermediate, advanced stuff. Like, that's what I can, I relate more to it, so I like talking about it more. But yeah, so one thing that you should 100% watch out for when scaling is making sure that your supplier is keeping up with your product. So it's so easy to let go of that and just think that everything's running smoothly. But man, please be on top of it, because that was one of the biggest things at the beginning of this year. Like, when we scaled big, our supplier was not keeping up with it, and we had no idea. We were just like, we just were focusing on the ads and making sure that every day we were scaling bigger and bigger and bigger. And that was like not sustainable. And we didn't think about it. We're just noobs. First time really scaling huge. And that's what happened. So make sure you watch out for that. And then, well, another thing too is make sure you have the cash flow. Like, if you don't have cash flow to scale, keeping in mind like PayPal reserves, or even if you haven't had a PayPal hold, plan ahead, because you might still get it. Like, you never know what could happen. And if you get a PayPal hold in the middle of a scale, that's going to ruin your business. Like, that sets you back like a month. Or if it doesn't set you back like a month, it'll completely kill your business in like 2 months. And a lot of people never think about that. And that's the reason why you have some people out there in the e-com game that like have like a shit ton of money on hold with PayPal with like no, like, without it being released ever, right? Like, that's crazy to me. I've never had anything close to that happen where like they take my money and don't tell me that they're going to give it back. And the reason why that happens to those people is because they keep scaling, knowing that their customers are completely pissed, that their orders are not getting fulfilled on time, and like just, but they still keep doing it because they want to make more money, and they end up getting fucked because of it. It's just the way it is. It's, it happens to the best of people, I'm sure. But you have to watch out for it. You don't want to scale too big. It's not a good idea, especially if you don't have the cash flow for it. So those are the things you should watch out for. AliExpress or look for US supplier. So you can look up a US supplier on AliExpress actually, but I don't think you necessarily need to do that. I think you could just start with AliExpress dropshipping, and then once you find something that is working consistently, then start looking for better shipping options, whether it be a sourcing agent or a US supplier. But both of those things are good options, but only after you find something that's working. Otherwise, I just don't think it's worth it. And that's why I really love how I've approached dropshipping with this store. I'm using it to my advantage, but I'm not, it's not my long-term plan at all. And that's how you should think of it too. You should use it to your advantage in order to test products and make sure that things run smoothly, or that the product is showing consistency, and then private label it or something. But I still don't recommend most people to do that. It's a lot harder than I thought, guys. And I see why Sebastian always talks about like, this is why like I'm not really talking too much. I mean, he talks a lot about branding now, but he didn't for a long time because it's hard, man. Like, it's so hard, and the average person isn't going to be willing to put in the work. So it's like a lot easier to just start drop shipping and do that. But, so yeah, start drop shipping basically is what I'm saying. And then start thinking about a brand once you find something that's working. Fuck, my throat's starting to hurt. Hey brother, when would you personally say it's time to transition to branding? 3,000 a day revenue or 10K? It's really up to you, because you could brand at whatever point you want. I would say do at least 1,000 a day with whatever product you're doing, because that shows some results, And if you're doing 1,000 a day, you could probably do 1,000 a day with stock in the US, unless all of your orders are not coming from the US, then that's kind of problematic. King Kong, one of your students. Yeah, he joined the course a while ago, but he's been completely killing it. High ticket versus low ticket. I personally think you should go for like mid ticket. So like, I mean, I don't know. I guess it is low ticket, like anywhere from $20 to like 60, maybe even 80. I think those products are good to drop ship. They give you a solid margin to scale, and they're not that hard to sell. Yeah. Too low ticket, it can work very well. We've done it before. We've made a lot of money with low ticket, but it's a bitch. That's all I got to say. You got to have a team in place to do that. Otherwise, think about it. Like to make $1,000 on a $10 product, you need to sell 100. That's 100 customers. To sell a $50 product, you only need 20 customers. So that's literally like 5 times less customers. And if you're a beginner, you probably don't have time to be dealing with all those customers. So keep that in mind. What time do you make your ad sets? I try to do it at midnight, or schedule them to midnight. You can do it later than midnight. I wouldn't do it like before midnight, but typically midnight. Is there any chance to start a watch shop in 2019? Definitely, bro. So here's one thing that is going to be controversial, and I don't mind. I don't care about being controversial. It's just my opinion. I don't think that it's like, it is saturated. Like there's a lot of people testing different watches, but there's always like a different marketing angle you can take, like there's always, if you're creative, like it's more difficult, but you can definitely do it still. You just have to be very creative and get inspiration from other big brands, Arie, want to hear your thoughts about automation tasks that can be easily put into autopilot. So basically, that's a good question. And, that's probably what I get asked most in the inner circle too, is like, when should I outsource and stuff like that, just from like successful students. And personally, I think you should outsource basically as soon as you reach like 20 orders a day consistent. I mean, I know that sounds like very soon to a lot of you, but trust me, the amount of time that it's going to save you is ridiculous. So one of the things that you can outsource first, the easiest way to start diving into the world of outsourcing and automating is automating your order fulfillment. I don't know whatever you're using, Oberlo, Dropify, doesn't matter. There's VAs for it on Upwork. Everybody knows how to use it on Upwork, basically. Not everybody, but you can post a job posting and asking for certain requirements. And the people are highly qualified. Make sure you pay them anywhere from $4 to like $6 an hour for that job. Of course, the higher end ones will typically do better work, but I have VAs that I pay $450. Well, only one really, but he does amazing work for me. He's a super tight guy. I love him. We've grown really close over the past year. He's been on my team for like a year, and yeah, he does my order fulfillment. He'll, for you, it'd probably be like Oberlo, going on your Oberlo account and fulfilling orders through that. But for me, I use a CSV order file every day that I send to my sourcing agent, and my VA is the one that puts all our orders into this spreadsheet and sends it over to the sourcing agent. So yeah, that's probably the best one to outsource at the beginning. And then of course, once you're comfortable enough and doing enough volume to outsource your customer service, that's the second thing. But I will say that make sure you overpay for customer service. Customer service has to be on point. And if it's not, it's going to wreck your business. Trust me. In the future, sure, you can make money with it, but that's when, big PayPal holds come in, big Stripe bans, all that shit is because of poor customer service. It's not just because of dropshipping, guys. Don't be fooled by that. If anybody has something super big against those companies because of that, because they got super fucked like that, it's because they were doing bad business. It's just kind of the way it is. Obviously, there's exceptions, but for the most part, I will say that many people in my group have said themselves that they don't even have PayPal holds because they focus most of their attention on customer service. I can't say the same. I've had PayPal holds and shit like that, but I've never had anything super detrimental to my business happen of that extent because I've always taken care of my customers. Love from the Netherlands. Hey, oh man, I would love to take a trip over there. I think I'm going to do a little Europe tour next year with Tyler, so that'll be dope. We'll see what happens. Have you ever dropshipped with any other CMS besides Shopify? No, I haven't, honestly. Uh, whew. Yeah, I haven't done a live stream on YouTube in a long time, and my throat is killing me already. One product store tips. I would say just like if you're doing a one product store, you have the advantage in the sense that like you can brand it more and position yourself as an authority. So just really go all in on that product. Like that's basically it, you know, like just try to make sure that it looks like this is your product, like you invented it basically. Do you use custom conversions instead of standard events? No, I use standard events. Any plan to host an event live? We come meet you. Maybe in the future. Honestly, I just really don't have time for that. Like right now, I my time is so crunched. Tyler and I are actually looking for an office right now so that I can like make better use of my time. I find that like I can work at home pretty well, but not always. Sometimes I just really want like a change in environment. So I really want an office. I think that would be really cool too. And like we could grow our other brands in that office too. It would be pretty dope. And we live really close to the University of Minnesota, or I do. And there's a lot of entrepreneurs there that I'm sure would like come through, and it'd be really cool. Really, really cool. Will this be re-uploaded? Yes. So you guys don't have to worry. If you have to go to bed, you know, really bad, maybe timestamp this and go to bed and rewatch it in the morning, because I am going to upload this to my channel. So you don't have to worry about anything. You know, we've covered a lot of good stuff on here. This is why I love doing live streams. This is why I do a live stream every single week for the Inner Circle, because I know it helps so much. And like, you know, it allows me to connect with my students a lot better and with my YouTube channel. So, but it does take a lot of time, and that's why I'm not able to do it that frequently anymore, unfortunately. But I do enjoy the live stream, so it's kind of a bummer. How does it feel to be a living legend? Dude, I'm nowhere near a living legend, man. I'm just getting started. Okay, hold up. How do you go about finding more interest to target other than using Google, Audience Insights, and the Suggestions tab? So one good way to do it personally is just to like really, maybe even write this down, like write down some, you know, who would use this product, and then targeting based on that. And I know that's like the simple choices would be like, let's just say the watermelon slicer. Let's just say obviously people who love kitchens, who love home goods, kitchen products, whatever. But then maybe also people who barbecue, you know, because the summer watermelon is really good. Maybe people who are vegans or vegetarians, they love smoothies. Smoothies, what are smoothie shops? Like big smoothie shops, Jamba Juice. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just start kind of brainstorming based on that. That's the way we've always done it. Yeah. Okay. There's a question that got flagged, so that's why it stood out to me, and it's a good one. How heavy do you fuck with email marketing? I really like email marketing. I think it's sick, but I don't do it that much because, well, the thing I don't do that much is an email pop-up. I don't have an email pop-up on my site. I know it's kind of like I'm leaving a lot of money on the table, but I always find that it decreases conversions, and I've never been able to convert people on my like sequences as well as just on my store. So I think it's better to just like, you know, not have a pop-up and then just really milk my existing customers, if that makes sense. How many orders should a product have on AliExpress a day for it to be a winning product? There's really no way to tell. I mean, there's probably products that get orders every day that are not going to turn out to be winners for you. So I wouldn't base my choice solely on that. And I've had times in my life, and I've had friends also that have had similar situations where they've tested products that are virtually untapped, and I've had heavy success with it. So selling a product with Supreme brand logo, bad idea. Yeah, I mean, it's illegal, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I'm kidding. I don't suggest you do that. Do you think it'd be worth it to run ads to an email opt-in page? Depends on what you're selling. I've been thinking about that honestly a lot. For my brand, I've been really wanting to make a solid like landing page as like a wait list for particular products. I think that's like what I think is the coolest thing about a brand is doing like drops, you know, like a new drop, a new, like sign up for this wait list. I just love wait lists. Like even for the inner circle, like whenever I built up that email list, it was so exciting. It's just like such a thrill. And I want to do the same thing for a brand. I think it'd be so cool. When traveling, do you have to worry about getting your ad account banned? Yeah, man. It's scary, bro. I'm always scared when I travel, like with my ad account. Just buy your course. Can't wait to join the inner circle group. Hey, nice, bro. Can't wait to see you in there too. Email marketing is the most slept on in this game. Yeah, for sure. But here's the thing, man. Like for drop shipping, it's not nearly as effective because you don't get repeat customers if your like product takes forever. You'll get few if you finesse like your store the right way. Like if you still treat your customers and communicate with them, sure, you'll still get, some return customers. But email marketing personally works the absolute best when you actually have a brand that has happy customers. Like my email list for my personal brand, I have an email list, and if you guys are a part of the email list, you're pretty lucky probably because I signed like little, secret stuff on there. So if you can sign up for that email list, make sure you do. But it converts a lot better and it gets better open rates than any of my e-commerce stores because, you guys are happy with my channel. You guys are happy with the content that I put out. So, you're not going to be against like anything that I put out. And it's the same thing with a brand, guys. Like if you have a dropshipping store and most of your customers like message you pretty angrily or are not very satisfied with their order whatsoever, then they're not going to convert in an email. So, that's another reason why you kind of want to build a brand too. But sorry, I'm going to try not to talk as much about branding like today because I feel like I already talked enough about it. I mean, obviously I still will, but it's just so much harder to build a brand than just start a dropshipping store. Just a lot of different reasons, but I think it's still the way to go. It's more fun. How do you sign up for the email list? I guess I don't have a sign up for it. It's actually in one of I think maybe it's in this video. It's just like I have a video where I share like a free Facebook ads like structure. In the PDF file, you have to give me your email to get. So, it's a win-win situation. It's a good PDF file. I mean, I spent a lot of time on that, like making it pretty nice. I think I think I linked it in this live stream, but that's besides the point. How does it feel to be the only legit dropshipper on YouTube? Honestly, guys, I don't think that's true anymore. Let's be honest here. I mean, I don't want to like be super egotistical. Hopefully this doesn't sound narcissistic, but now let's be honest. There's a lot of new dropshipping channels that are like absolutely killing it too. So I think like, I kind of brought in like a new breed of dropshipping YouTube channels. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to like claim that, I don't want to be that guy, but I think I set the bar pretty high for a lot of the new YouTube channels. So it forces them to do really good, like on their channels. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. King Kong is a beast, bro. One of the top students. I'm kidding. Do you know other gurus in person? Of course, man. I know Gabriel. I met Gabriel Saint Germain. You guys probably know about him. We met in Costa Rica and like we vibed like right away. We're super similar. It's pretty funny. Like a lot more alike than I thought. It was awesome. And yeah, I know Hayden. I mean, I've never met him personally, but we've talked. I've talked with basically like every dropshipper except for like a few. Do I know Beast of Ecom? Of course I know Beast of Ecom. He's probably personally like my favorite YouTuber, honestly, because that man, like last month he did 1 million in sales with his store. 1 million. I don't know anyone else really doing those numbers like personally. And I talked to him the other day, like on Skype, and man, he was so cool. Like we were very similar too. So it was very interesting to see. He gave me some really good tips, and he told me like, yeah, man, if you got any questions or if you just want to Skype again, like let's just do it up. And I gave him some good tips too. So it was a value exchange. It was dope. It was really dope. What do you think about fishing niche nowadays? I think it's cool. I mean, I think you can do pretty big things with the fishing niche. Here's the thing, guys. every niche is getting bigger and bigger because more people are like starting to buy shit online. This was a record-breaking e-commerce sales year for the holiday season, and next year is going to be the same thing. Every year it's going to get bigger and bigger, guys. So like whatever niche you want to get into, just do it. Like just do it honestly, and like simplify your business. What is going to grow your brand? More customers. What's going to get you more customers? Driving more traffic. How can you drive more traffic? Either paying for traffic or searching for traffic organically. If you don't have money for paid traffic, do the other one. And if you want to find out how you can do that, make sure you check out your boy's channel. I got a ton of videos on that, and you'll definitely be pretty much an expert just from that. So yeah. Oof. Okay, guys. 5 more minutes, and then I got to dip because it's already been 40 minutes. This has already taken a long time, but it's been really fun. I don't regret it whatsoever. Like that sub. Welcome to the family. Family's growing quick, guys. Still growing at about 100 to 200 subs a day. That's how we want it to be. How much money did I start with? Good question. So basically, I started with about $1,000, and this was about, like almost 3 years ago. Almost 3 years ago. And what happened was I basically like completely failed. I started a store. I started driving traffic with Facebook unsuccessfully, of course. Drove about $800 worth of traffic with 0 sales. So then I was down to like $200 and I was pissed. I was like, man, fuck dropshipping. And then I still had a job, so I saved up more money. I saved up maybe another $1,000, and I started an eBay business. I bought things on AliExpress and things at local donation stores and sold them on eBay. And I made a decent amount of money through that. And that was my first successful online business basically. And then from that, I gained a lot of confidence. I gained a lot more profits. So then I was able to reinvest into a dropshipping store, which turned out to be my first successful dropshipping store. And I had a partner on it. One of my best friends, Tyler, he decided to join me on that store, and I caught him up to what I had learned. And then it started off really slow. It took us a long time to really get the ball rolling and understand what we were doing. But then eventually, it just kind of started to work out. I don't know if you watched my previous video where it's called Why I Dropship, and basically I went a little bit into it. I gave a skateboarding analogy because I love skateboarding. In the video, I get a couple tricks, but in that video, I wasn't landing one of the tricks that I really wanted to land. And I kept almost landing it, right? I kept flipping the board. It wasn't really, going. It just wasn't working out. And that's a good analogy for when you start dropshipping and you're testing products and nothing is working. You're like, fuck, man, am I ever going to get it? Am I ever going to succeed? You're just full of doubt. And then you find that one that kind of works. You kind of break even on it. You get your first sales or something. And basically in the skateboarding in that video, it was when I kind of landed it. And then after that, I got the confidence to land it 3 times in a row, basically. And it's the same thing with dropshipping. Once you get that product that sort of works, you kind of, it's important for you to analyze what you did to make it work. It's important to be self-aware in this process. And that's why you don't want to rely too much on information from other people. You want to make sure, you understand what you're doing so that you can reflect on it and improve. So once you get that product that kind of works a little bit, or maybe works a lot, what is that product? What did you do to make that product work? It could be your description, your video, whatever you did. Now you can start doing that and doing it a little bit better. And that's how you just start getting better and better. And then you start seeing more and more success. It's the same thing. And that literally applies to anything in life, guys. I'm not trying to be this super wise guy over here. I have my student hat on all the time. I learned so much from so many people. But I will say that I've learned that. I think that's some solid advice. Ooh. Did you start a new store after you had problems with suppliers 3 months ago? Yeah, it wasn't 2 months ago. It was 5 months ago. And yes, I basically had to shut down the shop and start a new store. It was very inconvenient, but that's why I'm telling you guys, I've been through it all. Like, I know the dangers of scaling really quick. I know how to get around it now. You just grow, like you got to make these mistakes to grow. And I personally think I wouldn't be here today if if that hadn't happened. So I'm glad it happened. And that's kind of how I look at it. Like, Tyler is still I brought on that supplier and he's great now. Like, we've kind of, I didn't want to burn that bridge. I still talk to that guy because he's really successful. But he just didn't work out for us, and Tyler still till this day, like, is a little mad at me for that because he knows that we could have taken that store like really, really far. But whatever, like, I'm not stressing about it, How much money do I make every video? Honestly, guys, like, YouTube ad revenue is not that crazy. Like, it's a nice little added bonus for making YouTube videos, but it's not, my only motivator really. It's not too much. It's not too much. Does store look matter? It doesn't matter like the most personally, like if you're just looking for a hot trending product, but it's not a bad idea to make your store look really good. That's never going to be a bad idea. Most of your income from dropshipping? Honestly, my income is like almost evenly split at this point. Like, half from dropshipping and my brand, and about half from my channel, affiliate links, and my program. But I'm closing my program in 3 days, guys. So, from there, it's just going to be the store and the brand until I reopen it in the future, of course. But, it's a win-win situation for everybody. It supplements my income, but then I can also help people a little bit closer. And you guys have seen the results. It's pretty awesome. And it feels good, So I do enjoy what I do, but I still enjoy my YouTube channel a lot. And this is why I wanted to do a live stream. Like, I'm trying to answer you guys' questions. Swift. How much do you spend before killing? It really depends. Like, I mean, right now I probably spend like about $80 before I kill a product, maybe a little lower. Like, if there's no sales, add to carts, nothing, it's looking horrible, then I probably won't spend too much on it. But I've had to learn that the hard way. I've gotten attached to products in the past, guys. I'm not going to lie. If I only had you dropshipping around, would you make a living? Yes, exactly. So that was basically my goal. Like, for this month with this brand is to be able to support all my expenses with my dropshipping store. And I can and more. And, I'm happy it is that way, because then any other additional income that I have is basically just for the bank or investments. And that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to reinvest some of the, profits from some of our ventures into real estate. We want to buy the office that we get. So we're actually probably going to get a house and treat it as an office. We're not going to like actually buy an office. We're just going to buy a house and then we're just going to pretend it's an office. It's going to be cool. It'll be like a really subtle investment, but a really solid start into getting into real estate, which was one of my goals for 2019. But hopefully we can get it done, but no, we're not going to be able to do that by the end of this year, but maybe early 2019. So I'm really happy with how everything's been going. But has Stripe put a hold on you yet? No. So I don't have any Stripe holds right now. I mean, I do like very small hold, like 10% rolling like hold. And it's not a big deal though. It's not detrimental. They pay it after like 90 days or 60 days, I believe. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I really want to answer more questions, but I really got to go. It's 6 o'clock right now. I want to talk to Tyler soon. And yeah, but hopefully I'll be doing one of these again. I'll be actually doing a new video soon. Like I said, guys, I'm going to be reposting this on my channel. So if you want to rewatch it, if you missed something, or if you just got here, you can still rewatch it and it's not a big deal. I'm going to leave this up on my channel forever and ever. So you can rewatch this whenever you want. Now, if you did get value, I would advise you to, of course, subscribe. And if you want to see more, I've done other live streams and I've put all of my live streams into a playlist. So, if you like this live stream and, you kind of want to see other ones or listen to other ones, then you can go check out that playlist. I do live streams weekly for my Inner Circle program. And the reason why I can do them weekly on here, basically it's because these are a lot more exhausting and take a lot more effort just because there's a lot more questions. Whereas in the inner circle, like the highest amount of people I've seen join is like 36 people. So it's a lot more manageable, a lot more personal. But you know, I still love this, like I said, but right now, like my throat is absolutely killing me. I've like been talking nonstop. But yeah, are your parents in town yet, man? How's that been going? We don't want to keep you from them. Yeah, they actually live like 30 minutes away from here. So I see them like once every week or every 2 weeks. You know, I'm pretty close with my family. You know, last time I talked to them, it was actually a pretty nice talk. Like they told me like that they really support me and stuff like that. Whereas like prior to that talk, they were still like, Arie, like you should go back to school. You should, you know, we're scared. And I'm just like, trust me. Like I'm good. And now they finally understand, you know, and I'm really happy about that. So yeah, man, I can't stop talking. I keep blabbing. I always get sidetracked. But yeah, guys, love you all. Thank you for the support. Stick to the channel, guys. We're going to get to 100K this next year, 100K subs. I can see it coming. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Peace.